Welcome back to the Back in Time podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Autry, joined as always by Jeff and JD. Welcome back to the show, guys. How we doing?
Above
Holy
average
crap.
for a Thursday.
Man, what about that
Thursday?
intro?
Oh my gosh.
I feel like we're moving on up here.
We are. That was quite impressive.
Good work. Good work, Jeff. A little pat
Thanks.
on his own back, but man, I like the music too. It's like when I get down, I'm like, we got the funk. Gotta have the funk. It's got a little funk
self high five action going on between the two of you guys because I had nothing to do with any of it. So,
Bang.
Congrats to you guys. I love you both. I hate you both.
Yes,
but I love
yes. It was under the blues rock section.
Love it.
I like it. I like it. And I think you guys are going to like what we're discussing today on the podcast. Top 5 best ensemble movies. I can't wait to get into it. This is episode 264. Before we jump into it, though, remember to rate, review, subscribe wherever you're listening to. If it's on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and you can follow us on all the social media accounts at Back in Time Pod, Back in Time Podcast on Facebook, and Back in Time Pod on pretty much every other platform, including TikTok, which we don't have a ton of TikToks, but there's a pretty decent one of me and JD from recreating an office scene, which I loved, which is up. So go check that out. Now, guys, we had a poll topic that ended just today that is going to determine our movie of the month. JD, you posted the poll topic. Fill everybody in. What are we covering this month?
This month was an excellent. I think we had some great contenders going on out there. It was school themed, school related. Back to School didn't win, but Porky's didn't win, and obviously Animal House didn't win. We are gonna discuss some old school mother effers, some Mitchapalooza.
A little Frank the Tank action. Woo-wee!
Man, let's get the music back cracking up in here. Little Snoop D-O-double-G in the house. Come on.
We're going streaking!
There it is.
I can't wait. I'm actually really excited about Old School because one, I don't think we've covered anything from 2003. I think we had a movie in like 2004, the Saw franchise, but I mean, this is going to be one of the newer movies that we've covered on this podcast.
It is.
Yeah, definitely our first Vince Vaughn movie. I'm almost positive on that.
Chicago's own Vince Vaughn. That's, I think, a requirement anytime you say his name.
He is Chicago's own. I love Vince Vaughn.
Didn't we do Rudy?
Gosh dang it, he is in Rudy, and no, we have not covered Rudy, but we've talked about it a lot.
Wait, I think, is he in Rudy, or is it the other?
He is. He's Jamie O'Hara. He's the one that gets pissed off at him in practice. He's like, and this asshole thinks it's the Super Bowl. And the coach is like, you just summed up your sorry career in one sentence.
You know, I was thinking about his next movie with it's on the tip of my tongue. Favreau is in it as well. Yep. That's who I was getting confused.
Swingers.
With. Yeah, Swingers.
Yep. Favreau played a punk.
Vegas, baby. Vegas.
No, he didn't play a punk. I thought he played like his friend in the stands.
Yeah,
he did.
Punk.
Oh.
So.
He was in the stands, not on the field.
I could talk Rudy all day. I love that movie. And I ended up in the bar one time with the groundskeeper, and I just couldn't help myself.
Dutton?
And I was like, 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing. And he turns and looks at me, and I was like, I'll shut up now. I'm sorry. I've had too many beers. Now I'm afraid to ask you for an autograph. But hello, sir. Yeah, I would love to get the great Charles Dutton on the podcast. That'd be a fun one. He'd be a great interview.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Well, let's get into it. Now, Jeff, before we start, give our audience the rules. Obviously, we're picking 5 movies, but it's an ensemble. So fill everybody in, like, what are the restrictions here for these picks?
So since Old School won, I thought that it'd be a good idea to do an ensemble cast top 5 pick. And we have decided that ensemble movies are a minimum of 3 or more actors/actresses in a movie that is some kind of friends or colleagues or criminals together or family or whatever plethora of people, hint at one of my movies,
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
could make up the ensemble for the movie.
Right. And
So
essentially,
we're not,
they have to have like equal screen time. They can't just be like three big actors, but one's barely in it. Like they've got to be significantly in the movie.
yeah, exactly. No buddy cop movies, no ragtag, partners, no one from the hood, one from the Tinseltown, but we're doing a group, one
So
big, group, just like the orgy
goodbye,
scene in Old School.
goodbye Hollywood homicide from Kyle's list.
Ah, son of a! I had Harrison Ford, Josh Hartnett. Now I'm only two of them. Son of a gun. Real quick, I mean, as we mentioned, buddy cops. I wonder if you guys had saw the on-set photos from the new Eddie Murphy, soon-to-be Beverly Hills Cop movie, and a little Judge Reinhold action in there. They've
Wow.
got his partner, which I forget his name off the top of my head, but I mean, they got the old school cast back, and I am pumped.
They do. JGL's in it.
I did not know that.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt for Kyle's.
Yes, he has the same birthday as me,
Aw,
Interesting.
February
happy
17th.
birthday one day.
Thank you.
All right, nice. Well, let's dive into it. I've got my list ready to go. It sounds like you guys have yours ready to go. Here's the batting order. JD's leading us off. Jeff is in the 2 hole. Whoops. And I am in the 3 spot here, closing
That
it up.
something was on my face.
Yeah. Son of a dang glory holes. So JD, start us off, man. Number 5 pick. What are you kicking us off with? It better be good. I will kick you out of this chat.
You won't, because I'll kick you in the nuts first. I think I wonder if it's going to be on either of your lists. It's a 2012 film that I think sort of established what a modern ensemble movie and cast can be. They built this movie up for 4 years, and they really just fed us and spoon fed us, and just over and over and over. I'm talking about Avengers.
Oh,
Oh, fantastic pick.
all right. Yeah.
I love this. I think that the MCU has gone downhill recently.
Sure.
But when this movie came out, like, I saw this in theaters like 3 times.
Ooh, entirely
wow.
too many.
Yeah.
Oops.
2 more times than I did, but no,
Did you
I
lose
actually, it's a solid pick. Yeah, I mean, all the way through, I mean, rewatching that movie just flows so well. I mean, there's not like a down misbeat or just slow, like, hey, let's get to the more action part of that, first one. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Well, thank you guys.
I really like the pick. It's not on my list, but when you think
not
about
on my list either, but yeah.
big ensembles, I mean, definitely Avengers for sure. I think the only reason it's not on my list, you've heard me say this, it's like beating a dead horse. I'm over MCU right now. Too much.
And I'm with you. I'm also over the MCU right now, but
Yeah,
I
I need
like
a
to
break.
I like to think about the glory days, and when this came out and it ended phase 1 or chapter 1 or whatever the hell they're calling it, it was kind of like,
Just
Yeah.
it was a big deal for
Did
from
you have
the
any
six-
shawarma? Have you had any shawarma since then?
Oh, plenty of shawarma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm ready for them to take a big old Rip Van Winkle like dirt nap. Just go away for a decade, then come back.
2 years. I could use a 2-year break.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
Jeff,
All
what
right,
do you
anyways.
got, man? You're number
yeah,
5.
number 5, we are going from superheroes to board games.
Okay.
We're going to December 13th, 1985. A classic board game in everybody's household, especially mine. I even had the video version of it. We're talking about Clue.
Great pick. Not on my list. Great pick.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
an excellent pick.
You know, you have Martin Mull, you have Timothy what again, Rocky Horror Picture
Timothy, what's
Show.
his name? Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. Um, you know, Penelope and Mrs. Green, Margaret or oh, I can't think of Mrs. White.
Betty
Madeline
White.
Kahn.
Madeline Kahn. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I remember, and you know, depending on and the fun part about this movie was I saw this in the theaters in New York. I was visiting some relatives at the time for Christmas. And depending on where you were in the country, you had a different ending to the movie. And it wasn't until
Interesting.
years later that then they had, hey, it could have ended this way, or it could have
Hmm.
ended this way. But yeah, so that's a nice little nugget there for all you Clue fans out there. I do actually think they are possibly talked about redoing that one or
Interesting.
remaking that one. I think I heard it on. I mean, you know, I mean, I guess again, you can just come up with different people of who killed, you know, Colonel Mustard with the lead pipe in the conservatory, but but yeah, but yeah, that's number 5 for me, boys.
Great
I
pick.
like it. I like it. I mean, a little Christopher Lloyd action, which we love on this podcast, being
Yeah,
the Back
Professor
in
Plum.
Time.
Yep.
I've got no issues with Clue at number 5. That's a great pick. So okay, well we go from superheroes to a board game to a crime movie. I am in the year 2006. This is a epic crime thriller film, and it takes place in Boston and has an Irish mob boss named Frank Costello who plants a spy within the Massachusetts State Police. And talk about a freaking cast here for the movie The Departed. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Nicholson, Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg, Martin Sheen, Baldwin, Farmiga. I mean, Kristen Dalton. Just the biggest cast, huge director, Martin Scorsese, and
Did he mention Marky Mark?
oh my gosh, I got him in there. Wahlberg's in
Oh,
there.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is fantastic. I actually rewatched it about a year ago. I hadn't watched it since I think it came out on DVD because that used to be a thing. You'd see it in theaters, it'd come out later, you'd rent it. So I had not seen it since the Blockbuster days, basically. And it's fantastic. It is still an awesome movie, and that is my number 5 pick.
Yeah, that's a solid movie. I do nice. I do like how they kind of put a little bow on the end of the movie, wrapping everything up,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of everyone gets their due.
Yeah,
No
the
spoilers, of course.
the ending of that movie, if you've never seen it, will shock you. I mean, still to this day, even after seeing it once, I was like, ugh, holy crap.
It's a
Did
little
not
on the
expect that.
nose.
That's yeah. I
Well,
mean, shocking is a little adventurous,
you're on the
exciting.
nose.
Not shocking, but yeah. All right.
Okay.
I mean,
All
the
right, fair
whole.
enough.
I mean, showing the rat before they showed the rat. I was like, really? That's the best you can come up with? I mean, spoiler alert. I mean, there's a rat in the
Well,
movie.
so it's I think over 20 years old. So I think or over 20 years. So I think we're okay.
Over under, how many times do you think in that movie somebody says, I ain't a fucking rat? It's a lot. It's a lot.
10, 12.
I was going to say 7.
Yeah. I'm guessing double digits. It happens quite a bit. But JD, let's throw it back over to you, man. Let's take us off. Number 4 pick. Next round. What do you got?
So I debated really putting this a lot higher than I have it. It was very difficult. It has to be included. I mean, listen to this lineup: Stallone, Statham, Lundgren, Lee, Willis, Schwarzenegger. Come on, guys. How maybe it's high up on your list, but the motherfucking Expendables.
Great pick.
Duh. I mean,
Uh,
this, I think when I say in 12, the Avengers sort of revolutionized what I think the modern ensemble, or at least comic book ensemble movie is. The Expendables just wrote the check that the Avengers cashed. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. The second one wasn't bad. The third one, should have stopped, but I think there's even a fourth one in the works.
Sure
and
is.
I believe it comes out this year.
Yeah, probably going straight to streaming somewhere, I would imagine.
But
but yeah,
man,
I mean, I do like the fact that they brought back all the '80s, action heroes that I grew up with.
Hmm.
I mean, especially when I saw Dolph Lundgren and Rocky Balboa or Stallone in the same Drago, or I'll call him, just the fact that the two of them were just in the same room was just like, oh my god, is that allowed?
Right.
it was, I feel like when I saw this in theaters, people were like applauding. I think just
I
like
see.
when Bruce
Okay.
Willis comes out, I think people just took their shirts off and they were just like, guys, can we just be nude now because Bruce Willis?
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Bruce Willis, it's kind of sad what's happening to him with his disease.
Yeah,
But yeah.
not
Anyways,
to be a downer.
yeah, it didn't went downer, but yeah. So, but actually, but yeah, that's really all I can say about that movie.
That's all I had to say about that. Okay,
Uh,
Jeff, number 4. What do you got?
Number 4. So, my number 4, he did play a superhero, but not in this movie. One I think of as smaller roles, but again, I think it's just the pure idea and comedy of the movie, starring Michael Keaton, Michael Keaton, Michael Keaton, and Michael Keaton. 1996's Multiplicity.
oh
Bold pick,
goodness,
Cotton.
great!
Bold pick.
You're not wrong. I mean, I
Uh,
count it. I say, let's count it.
Allowed.
so it was on the fence, and I was like, well, 1, 2, 3, and then the original, and then you have Andy McDowell. So that's technically 5. So yeah,
Steve.
Steve. I like pizza. I like pizza
Oh my
thief.
gosh.
Three guys from
It's
nowhere.
just yeah, I know. And just the way that movie just kind of plays out, and it has the fun scene of, oh my god, they're all 3 ready to go, and she touched my pee pee, Steve.
Oops, can't
And
do that anymore.
I love the fact also too that they had 1, 2, and 3 written on the back of their ears,
Yeah.
to identify them. And yeah, it was an interesting concept, but I like the $1 million say or catch is in that movie, where Michael Keaton throws it to Michael Keaton, catching it almost casually in that scene where he throws him a beer. And again, like I said, it's not a glamorous pick, but it's one of my favorite ensemble movies for number 4, and
Yeah.
of course directed by Harold Ramis.
The late great Harold Ramis. This is, yeah, like I said, it's a very bold pick. That wouldn't have been on my list. I wouldn't have thought to put Michael Keaton on there, however many times. But man, that is a movie that I really need to rewatch. I have not seen that one in
It
a
is
long,
actually
long
currently
time.
streaming on Hulu right now.
Hulu? Okay.
Hulu.
Well, no reason why I can't watch it then. Cool. Very nice. Well, I'm going to keep the train a rolling. My next pick has definitely more than one leading guy. This is a movie from 1998. It is in our archives. It centers around a rug that really ties the room together. And it's loosely inspired by the work of Raymond Chandler. And it's a Joel Cohen movie. And look at this cast. I mean, 1998, The Big Lebowski, Jeff Bridges, the dude. You got Walter Sobchak John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, Donnie. Come on, Donnie, know your role. You've got Julianne Moore. You've got John Turturro as Jesus. You've got Sam Elliott, who's in and out. You've got Tara Reid. You've got the great Philip Seymour Hoffman. The cast is freaking amazing. And like I said, if you haven't listened to that episode in our archives, check it out. Big Lebowski is one of my favorite all-time movies.
He's the dude.
He's the dude, man.
He's the reason why I drink Black Russians.
Oh my gosh.
That's an excellent pick. Yeah, I probably could have.
What do you have with the briefcase, man? Undies, the whites.
There you go. It has to be included, and you did the good work and included it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would put this up. It's in my top 20 movies all time.
I'm
I could
surprised
literally
it's not
watch this
higher
movie.
on your list.
I mean, I don't know where I would put it in the 20, but it would be pretty high up in the 20 range. So I love this movie. I could watch it literally every week and not get bored. So there we go. How about third round? JD, kick us off. What do you have, man?
I feel like I'm playing a little bit of some Russian roulette with my picks, but I'm gonna stick the landing. I'm gonna go with in 2001, if that's okay with you guys.
All right.
We'll allow it. The dude allows it.
The dude allows it. Does the dude allow George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Julia
Sure
Roberts, Bernie Mac, Elliot Gould, Casey Affleck, Scott Caan? I mean, can I stop, or can we just go and talk about motherfucking Ocean's 11?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's on the outside of mine.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Again, one of those rare films that, probably outdoes the original with the Rat Pack, which I have actually seen. A little bit different ending in that one. But yeah, no, it's a good, that probably started the, probably a whole generation of, ensemble movies.
Oh, it definitely kicked the tires and lit the fires for the fact that it's like we can get Bernie Mac with George Clooney, with Casey Affleck, with I think even the guy from Seventh Heaven is in it at the beginning.
Oh, that 70s show. Yes.
Is that who it is?
Yes. The Toby, the Eric Foreman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Toby's
He's in that
great.
one.
So
Yeah.
there we go. I mean,
No,
that's for it being a heist film, it's actually really well done. Compare it to the original. Does it hold water? I say yes. And
sure.
the
Absolutely.
ending, and like you can't go to. I've been to Vegas. Doesn't matter. But every time I go to Vegas, I have to go to the Bellagio and just kind of look at the water tower and just kind of like listen to the music a little bit and then just go on my way.
Yeah, last time I was in Vegas was a couple of years ago. They actually had drained it and didn't have it on, so it was kind of disappointing. But that's okay. No, and a very underutilized, I think, Scott Caan and Casey Affleck. I think the two of them really kind of stole that movie, like underappreciated, duo. Which I think the two of them are just hilarious in their shenanigans.
They're so good. That's a great way of putting it. Shenanigans. Love it.
Speaking of shenanigans, and speaking of number 3, again, this movie, going back to 2002, in your archives, we are talking about Broken Lizard's first, and my opinion, the best movie of all of them, the original Super Troopers.
I am so mad that this is not on my list. I completely forgot about Super Troopers when thinking about this ensemble cast. But of course, they're a troop, the Broken Lizard troop. And I left them off, and now I'm extremely angry. So that's how.
And so I did actually want to look up how to pronounce his name because we were struggling last time. So it's Sharon
Nope.
Siski.
Oops. Not even close. Chandrasekhar.
Oh,
There you go.
there we go.
I
Thank
just
you.
call him Jay Chans.
Yeah.
I've listened
his,
to their podcast and they had him as a guest several times, so they said his name over and over and over, and I was
Yeah,
like,
I know.
"That's
I
how you
only
say
I
it."
only did it once, and I tried to do the hyphen thing, and that didn't
Yeah.
work. So, but I did actually watch. I did actually watch a interview with him right before Super Troopers 2, unfortunately, came out
Okay.
20 years later. And his middle name actually means literally translates to large penis.
I like it.
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah. So that's my pick because the schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
You boys
I
like
pretty much
Mexico?
lost it when
Wee-hoo.
when that line came on. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Such a
number
good
3,
pick.
boys.
Such a good pick. Okay. Love that. At number 3, I am moving on over to a movie that quite possibly could have been in our top 4 poll topic list as a back to school movie, because it very much takes place in school, but instead of going back to school, they're actually leaving school for the summer, and a couple of the kids are about to enter high school and get a little hazing, shall we say. I am the 1993 teen comedy movie Dazed and Confused. Go ahead and drink this cast in for a minute. McConaughey, Jason London, Parker Posey, Ben Affleck, Willie Wiggins, Mila Djokovic, Rory Cochrane, Joey Lawrence Adams, Adam Goldberg. Yeah, shall I go on? I mean, there's more.
All right.
I love this movie. It is, I mean, JD, how much have we, I feel like we've had numerous discussions about this film, and about the director specifically, who we both love.
Yeah,
And yeah, Richard Linklater, come on. One of my favorite directors.
Yeah, I won't say much, not because this movie's on my list, but because I do have a Richard Linklater conversation to start up later.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay,
That's
I like
called a
it.
tease.
I like it.
But yeah, one of my favorite lines is although a little bit creepy now looking back, but at the time it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I get older, but they stay the same age.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it certainly doesn't age well, but I do love that line. I do love that line. So yeah, that is my pick at number 3. And I'm going to turn it back over to you, JD. This is where the going gets tough. We're down to the final 2. Cuts have to be made. Decisions have to be made. What did you put as your number 2 pick?
My number 2 pick could easily be a number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's on your list. It's not in our archives, and I don't know why it's not.
Okay.
Considering the movies that we have covered. It's a 1992 movie.
Okay.
Bear with me. It's another Steve Buscemi. Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs.
Nice.
Wow. Great.
I don't know how we haven't covered this. I recently rewatched this movie, and I was just kind of like, so 1992. So I was like 6, 7 years old when this came out, and I watched it when it came out on video. Had no idea what I was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And I have rewatched it many times as an adult, but rewatched it recently, and it's an amazing movie. It's like, in terms of filmmaking 101, this is a perfect movie. It's so contained, but it's so big. There's Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like, you can talk about this movie in a sentence and yet watch it for 100 minutes.
Good soundtrack.
Oh yeah. Tarantino's acting is a little stiff, but
yeah, what can you do?
This is the movie why I don't tip.
If any waitresses out there from the Chicagoland area, we apologize for Jeff.
No, I'm just kidding. I just like that line. I don't tip. That whole scene. I actually, when they again bought the soundtrack, and Quentin Tarantino, I mean, easily my top director, and if we're doing directors ever, top 5 directors of mine,
Mm-hmm.
which actually would be an interesting list as well. So we'll have to put that in down the pipeline for top 5 directors, maybe.
I like that a lot.
So, all set.
Take it
Okay.
over.
Well, I mean, we have gone over a plethora of movies tonight, but this one again has the bare minimum of ensemble, but probably is one of my more quotable movies in my life.
Mm-hmm.
1986, directed by John Landis. We are talking about Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and Martin Short as the Three Amigos.
Great pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a
Can't
great
argue
pick.
with that. We've not had one pick yet where any of us have been like, I don't like that one. These are
You
all
haven't heard
just
my
good
number
picks.
one yet.
Well,
So
I know what your number one is. I already wrote it down.
So between the singing bush, between the My Little Buttercup, the scene with Phil Hartman, John Lovitz, take the Amigos clothes. I mean, just all the way through, and and again, not understanding it as a child, but laughing it as an adult. Can you kiss me on the trail or kiss me on the veranda, wherever you want. I know it's not the exact line, but I believe everyone knows the scene I'm talking about. And the little turtle saying goodnight, Ned, and Arizona, keep shining. Yeah. I don't have the best voice in the world, but yeah. And then does anyone know how you can tell that's a male plane?
Mm-hmm.
By the balls. The little balls. I could go on, but I won't. So Kyle, number 2.
Okay. I thought about giving this one an intro, but I thought this one might be better just to go with a quote. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball! I am in the year 2004. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Come on. Ensemble, yeah. Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd, Steve Carell, and David Koechner. Amazing. And I can't believe I mispronounced Carol's name. It's Carell.
I was going to say Carell. I was like,
with me.
I've heard it both
I love
ways,
The Office.
Like, what about number
That's
5?
Ridiculous.
Okay, come on.
Christina Applegate. Yeah, you can
excellent.
keep going. I mean, but look at the freaking
Ben Stiller's in it.
The supporting
Luke
cast.
Wilson.
I wouldn't put them in the ensemble because I don't think they have equal screen time.
Yeah, they're more cameos. But yeah,
cameos. But I mean, Ben Stiller, Judd Apatow, Fred Willard, Harrison Ford, Seth Rogen. I mean, Luke Wilson. Holy crap!
Yeah, that whole Anchorman fight
on and on and on.
It got serious.
Yeah. John C. Reilly's even in this movie, so you almost forget about him being there. Oh, he's in the first one. I'm looking at the cast list right here. He's as
one of the.
Okay. He might have been under disguise or something. He is credited as being in this movie.
Okay.
Now, here's what I'll say about Anchorman. Quote machine, amazing movie. We need to cover this movie soon because it's too good for us not to have talked about this movie yet.
Yeah, as long as we don't discuss the second one again, I'm fine.
Yeah. Can we just forget the second one exists and just move on?
I mean, I think they were just, too much ad-libbing, too much having fun. And the script unfortunately just suffered. It wasn't even that long of a gap between the two of them, like most sequels are, but I mean, among from that's just the opening scene. It was a crash and burn from there. So that should have been, that should have been a real, key. Anyways,
so we can say that it needed to get the Dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know either. I just made it up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Jack Black has an awesome cameo on this one too. The angry biker. I love Jack Black in this. Just Boots Baxter, poor bastard. All right. Well, let's get to the number one pick here, JD. I'm going to give you a little rundown, and then you feed us your pick, which I've already written down. I know what it is.
You don't.
Number 5, you started with Avengers. Number 4, The Expendables. Then we had a little Ocean's 11 at number 3. Reservoir Dogs at number 2. Number 1 pick, what do you have, and why is it Royal Tenenbaums? Go ahead.
It's okay. So I'm so glad that we're doing this list because it is very, 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 knuckles to bones. But I'm gonna give you the cast. Guess it when you realize it. It's a David O. Russell film.
What?
Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Jeremy Renner, Louis C.K., Shea Wiggum, Jack Huston, Amy Adams. Come on. I can watch American Hustle any day of the week.
Really?
I love that movie. And I know it's not a perfect movie. It's very flawed. But man, between the music, the acting, and just the pace of it, I think Jeff is cursing the heavens right now.
I think we both are. I'm so disappointed that
Really?
Tenenbaums is not on your list.
I didn't say it's not on my list.
I mean, it's not because we just went through all 5. So
okay,
it can
touche.
only be an honorable mention. But
I get honorable mentions. No, I love American Hustle. I love it.
Disappointed.
Well, at least one person does.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, what
Tough
happened?
crowd.
Did you lose a bet or something? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I've never even seen that in the movies. Just like, God, when is this over?
So good. Christian Bale, Jeremy Renner, De Niro's in it.
No. They're all great. Yeah, it's just man, and I like period time pieces. So that's really what had me going in right off the cuff. But yeah.
I mean, I love David. What Russell did with take something like I Heart Huckabees, which is another great ensemble film.
Well,
you got a Wahlberg, you got a
he did Silver Linings Playbook too, right?
He did.
So I enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed that one, and she deserved the Oscar for that one. And Bradley Cooper should have gotten some kind of honorable mention because he was just as crazy as she was in that movie. But
and once again, De Niro.
Yeah, right. Bobby.
I mean,
because they're such good friends.
If you can control that type of a cast and produce something that made $250 million, I don't care that you guys don't like it. Hate me.
Fine, that's fine.
I might watch that movie later tonight. I might.
That's right. You'll be by yourself.
Kyle's never seen it. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
Nope. American Hustle. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't get over your pick. That's all. All right. Well, let's move on.
Crowd.
Let's move on. Okay, Jeff. Here's your rundown. Let's get your number 1 pick. Bail us out. Come on. Number 5 we have with Clue. Number 4 was Multiplicity. Very bold. Number 3 was Super Troopers. Number 2, Three Amigos. What do you have as your number 1 pick?
All right. So we're talking about number 1. So we've already discussed his first movie. And now we're talking about his second movie, 1994's Pulp Fiction.
Great pick.
No complaints.
Saw it in the movies.
I won't be a dick like you two. I'll actually accept. I'll accept it.
It's fine.
Dick.
I mean, brought back Travolta's career, or boosted or gave him a huge jumpstart. Samuel L. Jackson as one bad motherfucker.
Give me my badass motherfucker.
Yep. Bruce Willis, brought whole, and even Quentin Tarantino again doing the whole Alfred Hitchcock and playing a role in his own movie, and just again great soundtrack, and just because Quentin Tarantino puts so much effort into his movies as well as the music, it's just awesome. And Baxter definitely agrees with my pick.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay, I like it. That's a great 5. Solid 5. Here we go. Here's my breakdown. Started with The Departed at number 5. The Big Lebowski was my number 4. Dazed and Confused was number 3. Number 2 was Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Number 1 pick is a movie from our archives. It is a movie from my childhood. It is a 1984 film with a great ensemble, which consists of Harold Ramis, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, and we'll throw in a little Rick Moranis for you. We're talking about Ghostbusters, 1984. How could this not be on somebody's list? I mean, where do these stairs go? They go up. I don't know. What do you guys think? For comedy ensembles, this
no,
this
you're.
gotta be the best.
I can't believe that. Like my mind wasn't wrapped around thinking about.
Yeah, I mean,
80s,
right,
yeah.
right. I mean, just because they're like a dime a dozen, but it's a good pick. I mean, you boys have covered it, so we both know your thoughts on it. To get my thoughts on it, I mean, again, loved the movie as a kid. Second one was the ladies one will save for a different day, but even Afterlife is certainly rewatchable.
Love Afterlife.
And so, but yeah, I mean, and again, as a kid watching it and just seeing all these special effects, and I've been slimed. He got me. 1, 2, 3, get her! Again, so many quotable lines.
That was your plan? Get her?
I've actually met and got Ernie Hutz's autograph. Probably one of the nicest celebrities I've ever met.
heard
when
that.
I used to do that celebrity Comic Con. Not it was like a B list Comic Con put on by this couple instead of like the actual Comic Con or whatever they call it in Chicago now. So
yeah. Was
but
it
yeah.
C2D2? Is that the one they do there?
Oh, that's C2E2. Yeah, that's what they
C2E2.
call it. Yeah. This was like Sharon and Ron's Hollywood memorabilia. And I mean, I met some. I met Leslie Nielsen was like one of the first people. Like I got his autograph.
How was he?
He was nice. He was real quick.
Nice.
He had just shown up, and I was like first in line, and got his autograph and left. And it was my first time there. I just wasn't sure exactly how the procedure went, how much everything was going to cost and stuff like that. But I had a good time. And then I took my mom a couple times afterwards because then her maiden name is Lane, so of course her first name is Lois.
Yeah.
So she's actually met, and we've actually had pictures of, I think pretty much all the super or Lois Lanes, that are, except for Terry Hatcher, unfortunately, but for at least from the movies, and then the original Noah Neal from the Adventures of Superman, but Margaret Ritter, and it was funny because they all didn't believe her, and she had to pull out her license and show her name was actually Lois Lane. So not really the best name to have in the 60s when teachers would come up to her and say, hey, is Superman going to come up and rescue you? Or, hey, do you want to come in this phone booth?
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah, but anyways, I lost my train of thought. But I was talking about celebrities. I met the principal from Back to the Future, James Tolkien.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, and Carol Spinney, who is the voice of R.I.P. Big Bird. His actual voice was Big Bird, and then he actually
wow.
also did Oscar the Grouch, where it is too. So that was probably again and then a couple of the Bond girls from the movies. Again, nice collection. I have some of the pictures on my Facebook, and then some of the autographs. They're not hanging up; they're just kind of in a box. Again, one of those things I did for a while that was fun, but I think it's unfortunately gone by the wayside because of C2E2, and I'm not spending $75 to $150 for someone's autograph. These were like $20-$25, so
Yeah, a little
a lot
steep.
more
A little
reasonable.
steep. I have trouble buying autographs when I go to these conventions too. I'm like $50 for you to write something that I'm not going to put on my wall.
Right.
I mean,
I don't own a
what am I
restaurant.
gonna
Sorry.
take I mean, on my wall I have Mickey Mantle, Muhammad Ali, and like my all-time favorite baseball player Frank Thomas. Like, you're not bumping any of those dudes off the wall. So
Frank
no room
Thomas.
for anybody else. Who doesn't like the Big Hurt? Come on. 500 career
Everybody?
home runs.
Cubs fans.
Everybody loves Big
I
Hurt.
was gonna say.
Oh, and I have Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. I have a signed.
Oh,
Back to
yeah,
the
yeah,
Future.
yeah, right.
So I mean, come on. There's just no room. Now, with that being said, if I had the chance, I
Yes.
would definitely get Ernie Hudson to sign something. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
on my list.
The only regret I do have is not having him sign, because again, not having the cojones at the time, having him sign it saying, "I've seen shit that would turn you white."
That would have been great. And I'm sure he signs that all day, every
I'm sure,
convention.
yeah. So, yeah, but younger me didn't think of it at the time. Was young and naive, and
Young,
but,
dumb, and full of whoops. All right, well,
yes.
let's get to some honorable mentions here. We'll
You
mix
bet.
up the order this time, and I'll lead us off. I've got a couple. I just wanted to stay away from because I felt like they would have been super predictable. JD can probably already guess what would have been on my list. The Goonies, Breakfast Club, The Sandlot, all great ensembles. Can't be on my list. Too predictable. I did have Old School written down because I do think it's an awesome ensemble, but I felt like we'll do enough talking about Old School. And then as Jeff gave his pick, I wrote down Super Troopers with 3 exclamation points because I was pissed because it definitely probably would have bumped The Departed off my list. Because Super Troopers should have been like number 2. I
Probably
love
should
Super
have.
Troopers. So, Car Ramrod. I wrote it on the paper, man. Anyway, I don't want a large Farva. What do you got, Jeff?
So I actually, again, no particular order. I actually have one of your picks, Anchorman.
Okay.
Again, sticking with Ben Stiller as the director of this one. 2008's Tropic Thunder.
Yep. Playing the dude disguised as a dude.
Yeah, and again, I think that one, probably put some juice back into Robert Downey Jr.'s career. For him to kind of make his comeback tour. 1995, going with The Usual Suspects.
Ooh, nice.
It's a
I
good
like
pick.
that.
Sticking again in LA, going with 1997's LA Confidential.
Nice.
Some Kim Basinger.
I like her.
Guy Pearce, Russell Crowe. And, I felt, one, I was torn a little bit, and again, had to go with some of the mafia, something mafia themed, because my dad really likes the mafia movies. Really enjoyed The Offer. So this actually wasn't based on this one, but the one I picked actually was, in my opinion, the best sequel probably ever made out there. 1974, Godfather Part 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good pick.
that's good.
All right. Well, that's a heck of an honorable mention list. JD, what was on yours?
So, yes, the Royal Tenenbaums was on my honorable mention list. It was very difficult to not include it, but I think in terms of rewatchability, the ones that I did have were more appropriate.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the cast of one that it was originally at number 1, but it slowly made its way down. But Tom Cruise, Julianne Moore, Philip Seymour Hoffman, John C. Reilly, William H. Macy, Magnolia.
Okay, that's a solid one.
I love that movie. I got to rewatch that movie. It's so good.
You know what? I guess again, I watched it as when it came out. I didn't get it. Maybe as an adult, I'll get it. I'll have to rewatch it this weekend and give you,
You
my
should. You honestly,
my
you
feedback.
totally should.
All right, I'll do that.
The last one that I didn't think about this initially, but when you mentioned Rory Cochrane, I thought about Keanu Reeves, Robert Downey Jr. in 2006. So before Tropic Thunder, this, I think, pre-launch of his career. Winona Ryder, Woody Harrelson, A Scanner Darkly.
Oh,
You love Scanner Darkly. Yeah.
I do love A Scanner Darkly.
I could see you really liking. You look like their audience.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, if
you.
they had to draw someone to
Depressed.
say,
Yeah.
What does our audience look like? The picture JD's right there in the dictionary.
You know what? I feel like you're trying to insult me, but I'm taking it as a compliment. So
It's not an insult. It's just it's just one of those far off sci-fi. Kind of watched it, but at the corner of my eye, didn't really get it.
Yeah,
movie for me personally. But I mean, at first when you had mentioned it, I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, it'll kind of be tonight.
Yeah, well, when you're asleep or on the toilet. But no, I'm a big fan of Philip K. Dick. I like all of his written work. I like everything that's been translated onto the big screen. And this movie, while rotoscoped, was a little bit kind of, I don't think Linklater understood what audience he was making this movie for. But does it. I wasn't on enough drugs the first time I watched it, apparently.
Yeah, actually, I think Johnny Mnemonic was probably the one I was thinking of.
Ooh.
Okay.
Future episode.
I like it.
Or Virtuosity.
That one I wouldn't mind doing.
There you go.
Lawnmower Man. Let's get real weird.
Well, I can almost hear the semisonic closing time in my head. I think it's time to wrap this one up. Top 5 Best Ensemble Movies, episode 264. Again, make sure you subscribe to us on all the major platforms and follow us on social media at Back in Time Pod. But for Jeff, JD, and myself, this is another episode of the Back in Time podcast. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Bye-bye.